Hello and welcome to the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation community. My name is Melissa. I am really excited to be here hanging out with you again today. We're going to talk about the May reading challenge that we have going on for the community. I thought I would get this video up to you a little bit early so that you can download your challenge or take a screenshot and look through your personal collection, head to the library, download some ebooks, and hopefully participate in this challenge with us. If you are new to the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation, first of all, let me say welcome. A little bit about who we are. The Jane Austen Literacy Foundation was founded by Caroline Jane Knight, the fifth great niece of Jane Austen, and the last of Jane Austen's family members to grow up in Chawton House, their ancestral home. Caroline had the vision to start the community as a space to bring literacy to more children around the world. The numbers of how many children that do not have access to literacy programs and books is just astounding. A decade later, we are still here serving the purpose of bringing literacy to all. We are a nonprofit volunteer-run community, and now we have the space where you can join in with our activities, our book club, and so much more that we opened up at the end of last year. So hopefully that is something that you are interested in as well. And if you don't mind to click that subscribe button, stick with us for these new videos that we'll be putting out. And let's just have some fun enjoying reading. That is what we love. That is what we want to bring to you. It's just that excitement around discovering new books, talking about it with friends, and a community that is in love with that. So let me tell you a little bit about our monthly reading challenges. They are prompt-based challenges, and the idea is really to let you explore, no matter what genre it is that you love to read, what your age is, that you feel comfortable looking and finding books that fit these prompts, that inspire you to find new books and get you excited about reading, because that is really what we are here to do. The May Reading Challenge has a few prompts on here. If you head over to our Patreon community, you can download the monthly challenges for free to follow along, and they are hopefully not overwhelming at all. It really is just to encourage you to get out there and find some new books, and there's even free spaces that you can fill in with whatever it is that you have been wanting to reading, or I know some people have said they're in other book clubs and they need space to read those books as well. I did want to let you know for our May book club, we will be reading A Dress of Violet Taffeta, which I am super excited to be reading this one. It is about Lucy Lady Dove Gordon, who was a fashion icon and also a survivor of the Titanic. So that is what we will be reading for our May book club. I'm going to be using that for my free space. So I thought if you are new to our reading challenges and how they work, I would go ahead and pull some books that I'm going to have set to the side for my May reading challenge. And if you are just meeting me for the first time, or you don't know much about my reading habits, I am definitely a mood reader. I will grab books from the library with every intention to read them, and then by the time they've been sitting at home for a little bit longer, it's just not what I'm in the mood to read, and I will grab other things, but I'm always reading something. So these challenges are great because I go through my bookshelves, I go through my library stacks, see what I have, and something new catches my eye that's maybe been sitting there for a little bit that I've been meaning to read, and I can use it for the challenge. So I just did a few videos ago a big library haul, used books from the library haul. So that is where some of these books are going to be coming from. A couple of them are library books, and I believe one of them was sent to me by the publisher. So I will go along with the prompts. I will tell you what I picked that I might possibly end up reading, and then I think let me know in the comments if you would like to see a wrap-up video at the end of each month of what I did end up reading for my reading challenges. While you're watching these prompts, if you have any suggestions of books that you think would be perfect to fit the prompt, please let me know that down in the comments as well. All right, so the first is Mystery and Manners Embark on a Mystery Novel. And immediately, this was one that I grabbed at that used book sale. I am going to pick for myself The Devil in the White City. this one is one of those books that I have seen floating out there for years. Every time the cover grabs me, and I think I'm going to go ahead and hopefully dive into this one. It seems really interesting, and when I talked about in the book haul, there's some gaps in my historical fiction reading that I would like to fill in, so that will be this book for me. All right, the next one is Quintessential Quote. Pick a book that has a well-known quote. And this one I'm still struggling with a little bit. I know I have to have something that fits it, but I was a little unsure, and I didn't want to go with anything like too obvious, like picking a Jane Austen novel, even though I would happily pick one of those. So I'm kind of maybe fudging the rules a little bit, but I'm going to go with this book called The Reader. It says it was a major motion picture, so I'm going to say maybe it has something quotable in the movie. I might find something else later that captures my attention and I end up picking instead, but this is going to fill that for me. All right, the next quote is Pemberley Pages. Read a novel that features a grand estate or house as a central element, echoing the grandeurs of Pemberley. And I knew right away what I wanted to pick for this one. I have Under a Gilded Moon. This is set during the building of Biltmore Estate, which is a large, kind of like our version of a castle here in the US. And I thought it would be a really interesting take. I definitely think Biltmore fits that Pemberley sort of idea of a grand house. It says Crawdads meets the Crawleys, and it does have a mystery element in it as well. So this is going to be my pick for that. Next is time traveling. Choose a book that involves time travel or spans multiple time periods. Now, I did pick up a few books in the sale that were dual timelines, which is not something that I normally read, but I was intrigued. I want to give it a little bit more of a try. I'm trying to expand my reading horizon. So the book I'm going to go with is, I think it was this one. Now I can't remember which I picked for which thing. Was it that one or? Let's see. I think I picked The Postmistress for this, but now I realize that is not the book that I was thinking of. So we're just gonna go with The Postmistress. We'll see what else I end up choosing for it. But this one is a World War II. It is split between different places in the world. So I will have to put in the comments which book I was actually meaning to put in here for the time travel. But again, like, just have fun with it, play with it. It gets you reading a book, so no worries. Next, we have Red for Rosings. Read a book with a red cover. And I knew immediately what I wanted to read for this prompt. This has been at my shelf for a bit. I think I grabbed this at a previous library sale. It's not a very big book, so I think this could maybe even be like a fun weekend sort of read. But it is about Leonora Hickok and Eleanor Roosevelt in 1932. I know nothing about this book other than I loved the cover. It seemed a really intriguing point in history, and I grabbed it. Next, we have T for Literacy. Explore a book with the word T in the title or in the theme. So this one was a little bit more of a struggle for me to find something that I already had on my shelf. I'm sure I could go out and find something with no problem, but eventually I did stumble across in my bookshelf The Little French Bistro, and maybe a coffee cup, maybe a teacup. Little dubious on that here, but this is the one we were going to go with. So again, I don't really know too much about this book, but it does say it was a national bestseller, so I have high hopes. All right, next we have Whimsical Words. Select a book that transports you to a different time period or another world. So for this one, I have an arc that I need to read. This is The Orchids of Ashthorpe Hall. I'm going to go with this one. It says Gothic romance for fans of Jane Austen or Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. It has a love at first sight trope and a ghostly estate. So that feels very otherworldly to me. I think this is going to be my pick for that one. And it says it is coming out in April, so I do need to get this read. So that's going to be next up on my list. Now, there are 2 free spaces, and you do not need to read for every single one of these prompts. I believe it is 4 books that we encourage you to read for the month. We know everyone is busy, and we just want to make this feel accessible for everyone to read. So I have 3 other books that if I turn into a very mood reader this month and I want to find something else besides what I picked for my stack, I will allow myself to go ahead and read. And those are this you might have seen in my haul, A Long Fatal Love Chase, and this book, and I looked at the author and I was like, what in the world? This does not look like a Louisa May Alcott book. And I just loved the description. It says, a story of dark love and passionate obsession that was considered too sensational to be published in the author's lifetime. A Long Fatal Love Chase was written for magazine serialization in 1866, 2 years before the publication of Little Women. And the thought of the author of Little Women writing this story that was too scandalized to be published in her lifetime just has me so intrigued. So I know I'm going to want to get to this one very soon. I also have, this was the original book that I picked for the Pemberley Randley estate when I was looking through my books. And it is The Lions of Fifth Avenue. This is about a woman, 1913. Her husband is the superintendent of the New York Public Library. And that feels like a very substantial, stately place to me. And so this is a actual needs to be returned library book, so I need to get to this sooner rather than later. But this is my alternate pick. And then for my last one, when I was looking for the tea prompt and I was struggling to see what I had in my collection that I could choose, I did come across this that I just purchased a used copy of the other day, Godmersham Park, a novel of the Jane Austen family, and I've seen so many people review this, and I'm really surprised that I have not gotten to it myself yet. And I had grabbed a used copy. I need to take off the cover. But this is going to be on my list. I absolutely loved Miss Austen by Gil Hornsby, and I am equally excited to read this. So that wraps up what I plan to read for the month of May. We will see how the month ends. You never know what can happen. I might get sent some books in the meantime that capture my attention and I really want to read them. I might actually make it through all of these. We will see what happens. I would love to know if you are planning on doing the reading challenge along with us. It makes me really happy to see other people enjoying the reading challenges and being inspired to grab more books, whether it's off your shelves from the library, heading to the bookstore and treating yourself however you find them, come to the books. I just hope that you enjoy them. I did want to let you know one more thing. For the month of May, we will actually be having the third part of our 3-part bookmark series that has been going on in the community available. So these are the bookmarks that we have custom made exclusively for the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation community. I laminate mine and then I put backs on them for longevity because I have naughty kitties that like to get to them, and this seems to help deter them. But it is actually a piece of artwork that we go together and creates a picture, and then also you receive a monthly set of book plates as well. These are downloadable so that you can enjoy them as many times as you want for your personal collection, as well as lots of other things that we have going on in the community, like Jane Austen's letters. You can receive a narration each month in your inbox for that, and lots more going on. So we would love to have you join us. I will have all the information in the box below. Thank you again for joining me. I would love to know what books you're planning on grabbing for the month of May. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you later.